Yeah. All right. What is going on? Actually, let me turn the notification sound off. Yeah. What is going on? DankTube right now. Chamberlain. Right. Okay. So right now we are going live, and this is going to be the last episode. Send message. Whatever. All right. So this is actually the last episode, or this. Well, technically, it's 3 episodes in one. This is Chuck Stew Show. Chuck Stew here. And for the last episode, I'm actually going to be doing a clip show from the recent activities that I and Dr. Pearlsy's book and pseudo Dr. Buck Strickland have been on the show for clips that I made on my phone that of things that we actually never got around to actually uploading onto YouTube. So for everybody out there, even though there was actually really nobody listening to the show, I just needed some inspiration, and boom, I put on one of those binaural beat videos for motivation and happiness or whatever. Right when I put it on the TV, it kicked in like within 10 seconds. So even though my teeth are hurting, we're going to do this, and I need to make an appointment to go see the dentist. So it's actually coming to an end, and what I'm going to be doing is we're actually going to be shutting down this YouTube channel. And I already shut down the other one like 3 years ago, so this one's going to be shut down next. And I'm going to be only focusing on my Christian channel from now on, unless I get some little splurge of inspiration for making something that's not of a Christian aspect or anything like that. Because basically, how I view the Chuck Stew Show is that it's basically just something. Excuse me. For the Chuck Stew Show, it's basically just the Death Church Radio podcast, but with cussing and vulgarity, and where I just completely let loose on society and let loose on what's going on inside the world, like what's going on politically. And we did cover, I mean, the Chuck Stew Show has been on for about now 4 years. So, but you know what? Me and the Dr. Pearlsy's book were actually talking about this last week at work, and we both decided, maybe it's just time to move on, because both of us are not ready and willing, and we're not willing to just do this anymore. We just don't care as much as we used to. He's, still, he's about to get his bachelor's degree, and he needs to focus on his schooling. I'm focusing mainly on just my Christian channel from now on, now that it's, gaining an audience and whatnot, and it's doing the Lord's work. And I just have always felt bad about doing this anyways, because of all the cussing and vulgarity and things that I've said and things I didn't mean when I said things on here. Just, I'm a person, I make mistakes, I'm only human. And I got my drink right here. I got carbonated water that doesn't taste too good. Chuck Stew likes to keep it real. He put the duct tape over the webcam for the live version. So this is what we're going to be doing. This is going to be an hour-long episode, so go ahead and strap yourself in. We're at 3 minutes here, and I'm going to eat my lunch to do some chores, and we're going to start with Chuck Stew Now, Part 1, that was recorded back in February, actually. So I actually have a lot of clips on here, from clips of me and the doctor, and me and the other pseudo-doctor that we never used on the show, even though we had scripts or without scripts. So let's go ahead and get started.
Gross. Shitting the night before and just let it marinate on her body. That's fucking Candace is the most disgusting woman ever. How did you meet her again? I met her on call. She sent me a message saying, "Your profile intrigued me," and I said, "Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah?" She said, "I missed you," and I was like, "Oh yeah?" You had sex with her, didn't you? I did. Shot, what do you fuck, stinky big women? Sup? No. Stop, please. Stop. Stop. They're hurting you. They're not hurting me. I feel fine. Want me to eat your beer? Yeah. I'm almost about to try to get it right now. I can't hold it. Have you ever, been with the one that did stink really badly? Full on. Man, I was toast still on my ass when I had full on. Most of the time, Nancy smelled good when we first started dating. I thought you said in general she smelled good. I was toast still on my ass. I had the fucking the multiple mushroom that you shoot multiple times and shit. Yeah. That is super mushroom. And Toad was still on my ass the whole time. Like he did. I didn't.
Is Toad your guy? Yeah, yes. You rolled 10, so.
Yeah, but if he scores too
but
high.
if he gets too high, then it screws me too. I have to. I need him to do moderately. Like maybe get like second place once, third place.
I'm sucking ass. Damn, I'm like way up. I'm too high for this level.
Yeah, this level's
I'm so turned mad.
You want to go right here?
Especially when we do the mirror fucking level, that shit sucks, dude. Me and Sean usually only end up with like 4th and 5th on that.
Look at that, Rob. That's all man right there.
That's all head. That means you don't know how to pour a beer, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Ha-ha! He'll be right up on my ass though, right away.
They're fucking doing season 9 of The Simpsons now for the tournament. I'm just like, here.
Alright.
It's good, but I'm just like, not as
I like all the way up to season 13. That's how I have the DVDs all the way up until.
I like it all the way up until season 20.
Oh.
I don't like to hate on it because I feel like if The Simpsons wasn't on TV, something else shittier would be on.
Like Cowboy Bebop.
Family Guy.
And I'd rather The Simpsons be on, even if it's like the later season than anything else. So that's my That's what I say about it. Obviously, the shows aren't as good, but it's impossible for them to be as good because think about it. We grew up with this show. Anything around that long is going to have a passionate fan base that has strong feelings and emotions associated with this show. It's the same thing with Star Wars. People are all like have blue balls over the old movies, but the new ones like they're so pissed, you know.
Did you say Chewbacca was like a fucking vegan or something?
Well, they fucking made Chewbacca a joke, yeah. They made him like the comic relief, the little penguin, fucking little baby animals. They're supposed to be cute, you know.
Okay, so Bowser was Bug's pick, and he has no points. He's at 4. So now Toad's at 10. Sorry, 3.
Okay, that's fine.
So you guys are actually almost tied.
Yeah, if I keep Toad getting like 3rd every time, I'll win. But I have to help out with this. I always go for the victory, of course, in the tournament, so I'm with that.
Shit, remember that Mexican fuck that said he didn't break the record? I know what he's doing now. Jerking off his weed.
I like how he had in the profile picture him like hanging out at home, and you could see the view from his house when like everyone was living in a fucking cardboard box. Like he was like in a shitty town of Mexico or something. Like people were literally living in cardboard boxes.
Said that you were Mario Kart.
He said you have an NST HP TV and you need to record on an NPP TV or something. He was like, so technically it doesn't count because there is a 1/10 of a second faster than this type of TV. So he said, oh, technically if you look at it, I still have the main record.
You should just like.
I was like, what the fuck did you just say to me, bitch?
You should do everything he told you to do and still need it.
It's like you have to record on a classic TV, I'm assuming, a tube TV.
And you have to have your phone or your film camera only so far away from the TV where you have to, the N64 has to be present the whole time in the video, but you have to be able to see the TV really well. They have to see if you might have put a glitch in the video or whatever the fuck. Like, dude, you fucking nerds.
Oh my god.
I won. I beat this guy's score on Princess Highway or something. I beat a score by like a 20th of a second or something. And he said, technically, I still won because you didn't buy the right TV or some bullshit. Like,
I'll do Diddy Kong, I'll do a race on there, and I'll get the record. Some guys are like, this doesn't count because you're not fucking up.
Fuck Twin Galaxies. Twin fallacies.
You're too masculine.
Bug, sir, so I'm going to count it.
So we require our members and our champions to be of a certain level of gayness. You just do not meet that bill, sir.
Oh, you fucking don't.
Thank you, I guess.
Look at that nasty Toad's in second.
Yeah, now I'm trying to fucking beat him.
Oh, you went past him.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. Those little STDs.
Sir,
I'm about to get this fucking Negro too.
Nancy, she's got a fucking car.
We were talking about that, how we went to her grandmother's.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Stop it! I got that fucking speed. I was playing Mario Kart on the Switch, dude. I literally beat this guy by fucking seconds. Like, he was way ahead of me, about to cross the finish line. I got a boost, and it was like I got first, like, by a fucking nose.
Really?
But the problem with those later games is they don't keep times. That's what I like about this game, is it gives you the exact milliseconds of what you scored
Oh
and
yeah.
how the next person scored.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's a fucking competition. This is fucking war, dude.
Yeah.
In the new games, it's like, oh, you're just racking up points. It's like an arcade. Fuck that, dude. I want a real racing, real times. Look, I beat him by 3 seconds and 10 milliseconds. Like, that's not a long time.
The arcade Mario Kart.
That one is pretty fun. Yeah. It's like Dave and Buster's. We gotta go there too.
Okay, so you're now 4 behind with Bowser's still 0 and he had 4, and now you're 4 behind. So now you guys are tied.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Yeah, really, you kind of don't really have much control over your character.
No, that's completely.
That's kind of the luck part of it. And then you have a skill aspect of playing the game and winning.
Because if you accidentally rolled high, but your computer, your NPC,
Play well.
or plays really bad, so it's 0 the whole time, but you accidentally rolled like an 11, you could have lost because of that.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty random.
it guarantees for you to drink a lot, no matter if you win or lose.
Yeah,
It's like the perfect game.
yeah, it's pretty much like it's pretty much for people that want
Or drugs.
Yeah, they like to
They like the marijuana.
Just Mario Kart.
and they like to play,
Fanatics.
Mario 64, Mario Kart games.
You know how many fucking memes on Reddit and on Google there are just specifically for this video game? You know how many memes? Even this level,
It has like a video to it about how to like beat it.
how to get the 3 Tanokis.
What 3 to know?
Or like get the fastest record in the world. Like,
Yeah, there's this guy who made like 35,000 attempts in a Twitch stream.
God,
Ask me where he got the time, but
yeah,
so
what is he fucking eating? Who's paying his bills?
parents.
Scott.
Oh, you know what? Those games, the people watching like Twitch and shit, like that's like really popular. You can make money doing that shit. And can you believe it? Like the most ridiculous fucking thing. Watching other people play games.
Especially how that dude Ninja is like a fucking celebrity now. It's so fucking stupid.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, people literally pay to watch other people play? Like,
Yeah, it's on fucking Pluto. They got the Minecraft 24/7 TV.
They got contracts to play for like TV.
God, this guy's fucking hard. He wants to take me down.
Yeah, dude, he wants your fucking ass in a salad shooter, dude.
Oh! Damn it! You see that shit?
Yes.
That was so fucking close!
Oh my god! Rob, how far?
I'm gonna get him! That bitch ain't going nowhere!
Oh, it hit the wall. Oh no, it hit him. It hit him. Look at that. Look at that. Fucking hit him. Oh, he's right on your ass.
This is a race!
He knew you were going to lose. If you did not do this right.
Not.
Oh no! Oh, he's got a banana.
No, he breaks! He breaks!
He breaks.
No, oh my god! Are you kidding? Fuck! Oh,
Look at
shit!
that.
This fucking game, dude! See, that's why this game's the best one, I swear!
So many points is that for Toad?
This doesn't happen on Switch, dude. You don't have close. I can't wait to see what his time was. Because I bet you it was milliseconds difference.
Yeah.
He was fucking right at
Oh
top.
no, it's right there. It's up there.
No, those are my times. I have to wait till they show the whole score.
Oh.
When he finishes, I'll show.
I got last again.
Jesus Christ, that's annoying. God, now he has, 15? Shit.
What if Bowser? He placed 8th, so Cody's still winning now.
Look at that, 3 fucking milliseconds.
91 and 94. Look at that.
He literally knows this shit.
So you're now 5 ahead, but Cody's still 0, so Cody's winning now by 1 point.
The only way I can possibly win is if Bowser somehow plays.
We're both equally terrible and you're both equally good.
That's true. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Fucking this prick.
Oh
He's
yeah.
not even like in the running to win either. He's like still 6 points behind me, so it's like it's almost impossible to win. But he had to take that one victory. I wanted the 30.
You're jacking off and concert your dick. Here I am.
You will never forget.
What happened to the recording? Sorry about that, guys.
It was like a really dark time for me, I guess. So
There it goes.
no, this was before that.
I don't know what happened there.
No, Rob, you were working at Red Cross, and then I got fired, then you got fired, and then but Elise had already been out for like maybe a month at that point. So that's when. But we immediately started joust like a week after she left. So because I remember her crying when she got onto my laptop once because she saw the track we made that we just made, where I'm playing the guitar for the beat and. You know, piss on her fries like fucking Richard. She saw.
Little bronze little bitch.
Yeah, Bronson. She saw it. She started crying, and I told her, "I told you not to open my laptop. I told you you're not gonna like what you see." And she said, she was like, "Oh, I'm a big girl, I can handle it," but she was like crying, like she was taking her shirt to wipe her face.
Like it was like pizza cheese.
She's crying pizza cheese.
Dude, I can't get the fucking handle on this. I don't know why it's going on.
Oh fuck! You turned into a ghost.
I usually like destroy if I want to.
I think it's because you're so used to playing the Switch. Oh, look at that! Oh, look! Now he's in third. Does that mean you still win, or
No, where's Bowser? He's fifth. Bowser's in fifth, so Cody's still only 4 away.
so? What's the final score here?
Oh, Bowser got 4th. You got 1. That means Cody's closer.
So Cody, you're 3 away, and how many's total away? Like, click the button. Okay, so Bowser was 3 away. And let's see, Toad was supposed to be a 10. You're 11 away, so Rob, we both take a shot. So, alright, let me erase this shit. Start over.
That's how
That was that.
I feel like, I feel like you can come off a little complicated at first, but like I feel like it's the only way to truly make it like a random kind of like game.
Yeah, I mean, I get it now.
Even though in the end you really end up just drinking all the time. Drinking after every time.
It doesn't even matter.
In the end, this doesn't really matter. Listen, that's too pop coleslaw though.
Pull up for coleslaw.
So flour cup. Rob, 1.
Hey guys, let's go.
Okay, so that is the first part is now finished. For the last clip, Chuck Stew now 1 from February 2019. Ugh. Next, it is Chuck Stew 3 MP3 from looks like the next day in February of this year.
You want a model?
So you like Chingy? He's the guy that said, oh, it's nice shooting at me, Fox. Like the first level, like if you accidentally shot at his hair, man.
Chingy?
Oh,
Chingy's a rapper, but like we used his beat for that song.
Did he have like a big hit?
yeah, that was
Pulling
That
me
was a-
back,
yeah.
third, I bet I played it for you, know, but we used his beat, like we used one of his songs for a beat, and he started calling himself the White Chingy on the track. So we ended up just calling the song. I guess I should be thanking the White Chingy.
because that's what cop is.
That's
That's
what
the
the album said.
first level that you play.
I guess I should be thanking you, Fox.
Yeah. I should just be doing the White Chingy. White Chingy, you werewolf.
I still have the fucking peppy sound bites. We can make that song.
Oh, yeah. I like
We make some fucking epic fucking opera song, like a Star Wars theme.
and the Slumpy comes on. White Chingy, help me!
Jiggy! And you respond like you're flying in an army. I'm coming, Slumpy.
Be right. Slumpy, be right there, Slumpy.
And then it's like at the end, he shows up in a fucking Star Wolf. It's like, thought you could get away. He's all like metal because you killed him. You put back together as a side
Metal Malloy.
Metal Malloy. And he's there to take you out. He returns.
Did you like listen to Cheese story?
And then we were gonna use like the theme from the trench run of Star Wars at the end of the 4th movie.
Yeah.
When he shoots into the Death Star, like that's you destroying Metal Malloy. I don't.
Yeah, we were gonna do it. I wrote a script, but I lost it. So,
What was the other one? We're gonna do the sequel to Tony into the Step. I forgot that.
oh shit, me too.
Where are the women at?
Oh,
They don't
like
need them anymore.
tonight after this.
Well, taken men. Except for stupid.
Except for me.
Oh, I saw a really hot chick that this your style working at the fries my own fast place.
She's like a fucking Billy Man tart. She looks like half.
How fat is she?
She looks like fucking Africa.
Oh God.
She like the Twin Towers when they're black before they
She's like an alternative white chick, dark hair, almond eyes, but she's like covered in fat. She's
Body part.
Yeah, she's like a white part.
but she was bigger, but still shaped.
If she looked, I'm fine.
Well, I thought you liked
That's
fat
all
chicks.
sick. No, I don't. That's just a mess.
She wasn't like fat, but she was like, you know, a little bigger, but like I was like that.
That's fine. That's fine. I want the thick.
Are you gonna say anything to her though? You've been talking about that other girl at that Albertson or something for years, and like you don't ever say anything to her.
Alexis.
Yeah.
I know I should. She's at IHOP actually.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, no, Jeremy's
Just come to
Cafe
Cafe PSA would be a hell of hipster chicks go there.
I'm gonna go.
Go to fucking college, you fucking bitch.
I'm gonna go.
Every hot chick in Tucson goes to some kind of college.
I'm born to Avenue.
I guarantee 99% of the attractive women in Tucson either go to Pima or U of A. That's how it is. Literally, U of A has to be like 70% women. I mean, I see children fucking actresses every day.
Most women go to college.
Yeah.
You think
They get like scholarships and shit.
and their fucking parents are rich.
You'll get your major in eating ass,
I fucking at 17, I tried to.
Minor in, you know.
licking pussy.
Minor in like pussy.
I didn't want to go to fucking college. I told mom and dad. I gave my suitcase in the living room. I said I'm running away to doing the Olympics.
You should change your major. You should go to college for psychology major. I'll change my major to psychology.
I would love that.
I've been thinking about psychology. Maybe it might be a cooler thing to do.
Dude, they teach you parapsychology at U of A. You can transfer into parapsychology.
There's also paranormal psychology.
Yeah, they have that too. But it's you don't do that anymore.
I want to be a psychologist because it's like you're living a really interesting novel. It's like, okay, repeat that. What your parents did to you? Your boyfriend did what? You suck too. You know,
You suck too.
Ryan Reynolds. Whoa. You know, it's like,
Wow.
it's like your job's really interesting because of their fucking insanity. Yeah.
That's cool.
You should be a psychologist.
I don't know. I thought about that. Like, I thought it would be interesting being, you know, in the mental health. You know?
You're already around fucking so many people like that anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
You already study people. You study them when they're on rise. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a fun job. You get paid all night.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Peterson said it's like living a Dostoevsky novel. It's like,
I try to be like maybe a
What the fuck?
psychiatrist. I try to actually go to med school still.
I don't know if I should hit it again.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Well, like focus on like you know, mental health type of deal.
You should do that.
I don't know.
Oh man, I got shit now.
I would love to go to school for psychology. So
Once you do that, and then like take parapsychology, you'll basically be you'll be a parapsychologist with it's kind of like all the same room. You're studying spirits and shit.
I'd love to go to this.
Are you good with this? You good with that? Are you good with this? Maybe that one. Oh my god.
Alright, so now we need to make
are we
the rules.
supposed to? Oh, I guess we have some stuff.
Yeah, I raced it because the scores are going to be good.
What do you want some FaceTime? What's up? What's wrong with my hair? How are you?
Who was that? Who are you talking to?
Letty.
Ross?
watching a YouTube video with Ross.
Buddy. Well, this is Sean. I'm not Ross.
What?
Sorry, what's up?
What are you doing? Fucking deep.
Are you outside?
I your hair back just now.
Yeah.
That's cool. You got a fire pit? Are you peeing now? No.
She calls you by accident.
Hi. I know, I'm sorry.
I haven't seen the movie, but I saw him like in the movie clip. He played one of. He didn't play the one with the rhino. He played the other one.
The warthog.
The fucking warthog is. I think his Bebop is a warthog.
Yeah.
What the fuck is the sound? Or am I just fucking that high right now?
You need to turn up your TV or something.
Is that me or you? Or neither of us?
No, you want me to put on some music?
No, Cody needs to find the remote and turn up the TV.
I don't have a remote for this. You have to do it on the side of the TV.
Well, somebody.
That's lame.
Bitch.
Here, I'll put on some music.
Alright.
It's on the locust.
Is this that Friday Christ band or something? Oh, it's Locust. Oh, okay, yeah, I recognize those. Can you believe how much you got in the band records?
I already bought the Locust CD, but it was like a GameCube game.
Yeah. It's on my wall right now out there.
You can play it. I don't. I'm so confused.
You did actually play it in your CD.
Yeah, it did actually play in the car.
It just uses a small CD. It's crazy.
How many tracks do you have?
They had like a bunch of tracks, but they were all like a minute long.
Something like that.
They had like 19 tracks.
Oh my god.
Because they're so short, like you can put it back on.
The CD was 19 minutes.
That's actually really cool.
That is kind of cool.
Okay, you just.
You really can't handle more than what the video of this time is going to sound, really. Unless you really fuck up.
With Shane.
Shane is just like that. This is like Tech Guy and shit.
You should hide this song somewhere in the house, like on The Office, while like Shane and Skylar Home and like film their reaction.
Try to fly with Joey World.
Or you can like submit to Adult Swim like Shane and Scott. Like you secretly film them do weird shit. I'd watch that. I watch a show like that really.
Adult Swim?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. But then like so we don't sue you, just have them like secretly sign like documents on all their rights before.
Yeah, you saw it anyway.
I still listen to these guys. You said when they're out, just play Soundscapes and invite them.
Yeah, I don't see their album.
We're never gonna see them live. They broke up, and Jesse Pierce is a dead cross.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'll give you some tell.
And he's not the main singer. It's like, he probably gets hella keener.
I got like 10 points for this.
Tomorrow's the 6th. Buddy, why don't you put on the bomb on that soundtrack?
The one that has
I
that.
always play this level and move like the lighting bit and knock like 5 guys down.
Yeah.
That was one of the craziest times I've ever seen.
What do you want me to put on?
I think that, I always remember that one, and I remember the one we played on TK Island, where like the top 4 and then bottom 8, like the bottom 4 and top 4 switched like 3 times throughout the race.
Yeah.
And at the end, like I was in 8th the whole time, and I played up to the first
Oh.
camera.
singing Ray Romano?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Ray Romano's Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I was in fourth just now. I fucking cut ahead. I was in fourth. That's how it goes.
Okay, so there's about a minute left on that one. So, all right. So we're 30 minutes into the show for part 1 of 3 for the basically the last. This is basically the last 3 episodes of the Chuck Stew Show. After 4 years, we're finally coming to an end. It's pretty sad. It's pretty crazy. But next, we're actually going. You guys, I'm going to show a demo for the Dynasty album for the next one here. 2 minutes.
Demo take 3 of song Untitled so far for the Dynasty album Big Inspiration. Fire on the rings, blood push-ups like swings. Morning and I get up, I put the milk in first. White Cupid got tips and cloudy angel wings. Son of a bitch, and it starts another chaotic week. My headphones cut my ears to knuckles, chaotic beats I'm swinging. Books in my bag and no reason to be glad, and it's beginning to be another week, and I'm singing. Gyrate the keys, I'm feeling weak at the knees. Flexing with my pills and a pistol to carry down with my 9 about time. Getting out the fuck ass work. Girlfriend invited me to game night and I hit the dip and then she ripped my drip. Schoolboy gotta get 86. Learn to not suck at like my ex-wife.
All right, so that was a demo. It's just called Demo for Nasty Album. So there's actually no name for it. Next, we're going to do an NPR commercial, and then we'll get back into the next one that's actually recorded in May of 2019 called Chuck Stew After Hours, right after this NPR commercial.
According to Customs and Border Protection, the toddler was taken by ambulance.
It's all things considered an NPR. Orange man bad, orange man, orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man, orange man bad, bad orange man. He's so bad. His orange man is so bad. Bad orange man bad. It's so bad. He's so bad. He's so bad. Orange man.
Okay, so that was the NPR commercial. So, all right, and next one. This one's called Pretzels, actually. Here's another commercial. Try to get interference of that. So, of those notifications. They were recorded like that.
Rizzle. Come on, let me smell you.
All right, and that was the commercial with my cat. Next is going to be, it's 13 minutes. It's called Chuck's Do After Hours Part 1.
There's a cop right there. I fucked women. I've had sex with women that was not as good as that fucking pay-per-view.
Oh.
All Elite Wrestling and fucking John Moxley comes to the audience like the fucking shit.
Yeah, like you said, they only did like weapons twice. The table and that woman had like a fucking little trash can, and like it was still like incredibly entertaining.
Yeah, that fucking shit was just fucking on point. All Elite Wrestling, fucking Double or Nothing, that was one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in my life. And I've been watching wrestling since I was fucking 5 years old. I'm fucking 30. And I've seen a lot of fucking wrestling. That was one of the best I've ever. I just kept thinking to myself the whole time, how are they gonna fucking top the Rhodes match with fucking Cody and fucking Goldust? I kept thinking, how the fuck are they gonna fucking top that? And they did it. They did it 2 times. Like, what the fuck that ever happened? This is some goddamn good, just bullshit. Good. Buck, what'd you think of the fucking pay-per-view?
I thought it was pretty incredible.
Incredible. Even more incredible than Dad's lunch that he takes us to at Outback Steakhouse.
Oh, I don't know if you can compare those.
Can you compare those two things?
I can't.
You cannot, no. Man, I have just the utmost respect for all those people that on those podcasts, they just shit on them all the time, like the Young Bucks and all them. And Jericho and Kenny Omega, just those guys that just fucking shit on them because it's not real wrestling, quote unquote. Dude, that was one of the best fucking pay-per-views I've ever seen. So, good on them, man. That's fucking just good bullshit right there,
Saw
man.
Cody Rhodes' ass.
We saw his ass. His brother spanked it with his fucking weightlifting belt. But, fuck, I gotta lift some weights myself. I'll do that shit tomorrow. I'll go to the fucking gym and lift some weights now that I got time because we don't have to go to work Monday. I am so fucking happy about that. That we don't have to fucking go to work Monday. I'm so fucking happy about that. Because I hate my fucking job that much. It's so fucking stressful. Like, I hate that job. So, get to go on Tuesday. It's like, fucking yes, dude. Fucking yes. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fucking put the leash on Preston, I'll walk his ass.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
Put the leash on Preston.
Chuck's Stew here.
Put the leash on my cat.
Yeah, with the fucking bullshit with Buck. We were on the David Ross You Think You're Doing a Good Job show, and what did you think about that?
Are we being recorded?
Yeah, I'm recording right now.
Shit.
We're fucking 3 minutes and 7 seconds in right now. For Chuck Stew, what do you fucking think?
No, I like being on David's podcast. I was barely on it. I didn't think he really wanted me on it. I didn't want to take it away from you, but I threw a few promos out there.
I was trying to make it more serious, but then I was kind of like, you know what? I don't want to make this shit about me. I never thought about making this shit about me. I never fucking, it's Ray. She said a bunch of things. I didn't want to make it about me. I never want to make it about me. That's why I was asking him questions about his life and how he feels about things. You know, I'm very selfless. There you go. I'm very selfless. I'm not very selfless.
You're a shellfish.
I'm just, I'm a shellfish. I'm a fucking, what's that Pokemon called?
Juggalo?
No, man, it wasn't. There's 2 Pokemon. You have to pick one of the Foxholes and
Kabuto and Omanite.
I'm fucking Omanite, okay? You're Kabuto, who turns into Kabutops. I turn into Amistar. Fucking, that's how this shit fucking rolls, dude. You know, you want to be a fucking Pokemon? What the fuck's going on? Do you want to be a Juggalo? Man, if Juggles are still fucking prevalent in society, I would be one. Like, if fucking the Riddle Box just came out right now, I'd be,
Hell yeah.
damn it.
I love pizza. I'm farting.
I ate half a pizza myself.
This was damn good.
Fucking Blackjack, even though that stupid, dumb cunt bitch.
Hey, fuck her. Don't call her bitch.
I'm sorry, but that woman, she knows how to make a pizza.
She's gonna know how to make a pizza when she's sucking my cock.
Yeah, I mean, if she can
She go balls deep with my pepperoni. Ooh.
if she likes to fucking go deep down,
Deep
inside
dick.
pepperonis, then I'm
I got
gonna
sausages
say,
for feet for like my balls. I got like meatballs for balls and like a pepperoni dick. Extra cheese. Like cup marinara sauce.
oh my god. If you fucking have a pepperoni dick that's like fucking 9 inches, and she fucking says, you know what, I'm gonna suck that shit right now, but I cannot take your order because I don't have enough brain cells. That's
like-
cool with me, man.
Yeah, baby, you keep sucking. I'll order afterwards.
If you want to order that fucking 3 pizzas, even though she couldn't give Dynasty his fucking shit, they could not give him his fucking order on a sale? Because he wanted to get a sale if he buys 3 pizzas at once. She was trying to give him a sale if he buys just 1 pizza with this topping. Like, it didn't make sense.
Leave her alone, okay? She's too busy.
All right, she's fucking busy.
She's too busy yanking my crank.
I mean, I guess, man, like, if she wanted to look at Buck Strickland and she just said, you know what, let me just down throw this shit right.
Let me just deep throw this man right now. Fuck your order. OG, meaty. She makes those medium pizzas. Wasn't gonna have a sale on them.
I mean, like, if that's her gimmick, if that's what she wants to do when Jon Moxley does the dirty deeds, double arm DDT to fucking Kenny Omega, a.k.a. the woman who works in fucking Tucson, Arizona, 85710, fucking Blackjack Pizza.
Blackjack pizza.
If you want to do
that blackjack pizza.
you know what? I'm gonna give fucking Ray the fucking double arm DDT because, like, fucking 7-8 years ago, I gave Alicia the Bulldog, and it was the best part of my relationship.
You gave her the bulldog? I thought you were trying to suplex her.
I gave her 2 of them, actually.
No, but did you give her the
When I was at Deborah's, I gave her the Bulldog because she was bending over, grabbing something off the bed, and I saw the opportunity, so I jumped in the air with my feet both sticking out, and I gave her the fucking Bulldog, and I sent that shit to Rob, like, right after I did it. And Ricky didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. She thought I was, like, fucking going balls deep or something. Like, that's what a Bulldog is called.
Was Alicia pissed?
No. She's actually, like, surprisingly fine with it, but... And let me tell you something else. Fucking Ray, I'm gonna give her the double arm DDT when I go down to fucking Phoenix next Friday. So what is that? June 1st to June 2nd? Count the pay-per-view right now that not only am I going balls deep for the first time, but we're fucking going double arm DDT. I'm gonna tell her, fucking sell that shit on your bed when we're putting on The Office, because she says she want to dry hump for hours. I don't know about that. We're gonna fucking... We're gonna see.
Fuck.
We're gonna...
What's the point of...
I got fucking hair in my mouth.
My pussy hair? I pulled hair right out of the pussy itself, like inside the walls of the vagina.
What?
You gotta dry up. You like drink all those Monster Energy drinks and just dry up all night.
Yeah, we dry up just like Dane DeVito. We dry up for hours. Now, Dr. Buck Strickland. Dr. Buck Strickland, we are fucking almost 9 minutes into this fucking Chuck Stew special podcast after the AEW pay-per-view.
After hours.
After Hours, which is some of the best fucking pay-per-view
Tommy
wrestling.
Dreamer was... Yeah, we missed the Battle Royale, though.
I did not know they were going to hit Tommy Dreamer's fucking Alice in Chains music and he was going to... We just did not... We just see him at Heatwave 98 last night.
We did. He made 2 appearances.
Now, Buck Strickland, what was your favorite match of Heatwave 98?
Can't remember. Most likely RVD and Sav versus Hayabusa and Jinsei, or Lance Storm and Chris Candido is pretty good too.
Oh my god, Chris Candido had half an ear. What do you think about that?
I thought he was wearing it because that was like his retard gimmick.
It's amateur wrestling like college. But what the fuck's this guy doing? Pull your goddamn truck over, you son of a bitch! You fucking cunt! Hell yeah.
Hell
The
yeah.
fuck was he gonna do? Nothing. Now, back to AEW. John Moxley came out and he fucking on top of the poker chips gave Kenny Omega a fucking dirty D. Can you believe that fucking Dean Ambrose?
John Moxley,
You fucking believe that shit?
aka Mick Foley II.
Right? It's borderline racist, but go ahead.
Mick Foley II is racist.
I can't fucking believe it, man. That was like the best fucking shit I've seen in my life. Like that was one of the best live. We saw this shit live. Can you believe, like fucking 60 years from now, when we're old people, we're gonna be telling fucking our grandkids that fucking we saw AEW. Fucking coon. Dude, oh my god. No, man, now we gotta cut this shit out.
Big Daddy Garrett Goodrich, am I a bad guy trying to be the nice guy? One of the nice guys trying to be a bad guy. You let me know, okay?
Yeah, well, dude.
Oh my god.
Chuck Stu's the heel here. We're the ones getting fucking tracked. Me, you, fucking Dr. PHP. We're getting, and listen,
FBI
lady.
agents there, look up Spook Boo Koo Martial Arts.
Yeah, man, we're getting fucking people from the CIA are sitting there watching our shit now because this is the 4th time YouTube has come down on us.
They got our number. We're gonna get killed.
They said that Chuck Schuh was spreading misinformation about the Holocaust. Both me and the doctor, we were the ones on the show with fucking the woman who came on. I forgot her name. Nancy's friend, like me. Yeah, man, we fucking forgot. Here's what we said. We were talking about Hitler was in Antarctica and he bailed on fucking the Fourth Reich or whatever for like when he came back with the Nazi regime for the Fourth Reich, and that he was going to come back in his walker at age 100 to take over us.
We're taking over.
That's
UWO.
That's what they fucking said. That we were spreading misinformation about the Holocaust. Like me and Dr. PhD, we didn't even remember what we said. They care more than we do.
Big Brother's watching.
I've got 4 emails from YouTube for 4 different fucking things they removed in one of our videos, and they tagged one of our videos to put the Wikipedia article on the Holocaust. Like, what the fuck is that?
What?
We have 8 subscribers. Why is the CIA watching us? I don't get it. Do they think we're gonna blow up or something? We're gonna turn into the Steven Crowder show, or what the fuck?
Get louder with Crowder.
What if they hear you talking about Syrians?
Fuck the Syrians. FBI, you can suck my dick.
Before we go to commercial break, do you want to say one more thing, Dr. Buck Strickland?
The Syrians are worse than scum.
Wow, and you heard it here, folks. Damn, that was a cop.
Okay, so that was the after-hour segment after we watched the first AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And to end out this clip show, because we are 48 minutes in, I'm actually going to be playing the after-hours segments for... Oh, this one actually was already did that one. And then also we are going to be playing 15 minutes of Doug's Labyrinth Part 1. Since this is actually not going on my other channel, I'll go ahead and just throw it on here. This is how we're going to end the show.
Hello, everyone. So this is Pastor Sean from Death Church Radio Podcast, also known as Death Church Radio and the Sean Stukey Show on Facebook. I'd like to welcome you guys to my video today. I was actually recording this video and got about 12 minutes in until the video cut off, being that I think I have too much space on my phone and that I need to delete a whole lot of stuff in order to make the video. But it's going to take too long, so I'll just do it at a different time. But instead, I'm going to be doing a audio clip video, and this video is called Doug's Labyrinth. So, what I want to talk about here is something that completely and utterly shocked me last night. I've never been this shocked in my entire life. I'm usually a pretty mellow guy, and that with my psychology, I'm usually not like a person that gets really upset easily. So, or really about anything. I mean, it's like a one straight line kind of thing. But anyways, this video is actually about Doug Perry and how I watched from the Fellowship of the Martyrs, so FOTM1 website, and also the YouTube channel that he runs, ministry houses that he calls them. I think in Excelsior Springs or Excalibur, Missouri, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure where it is that he is right now, but yeah. So I just would like to talk about these videos that I watched that were popped up in my recommended feed last night when I was watching this 44-minute video that he did on what it means to have a spiritual wife or a spiritual husband, and that wives can even be men too, because God told them that. So I was studying this video because I personally believe, and I have believed for a long time, that I don't believe in marriage that is accustomed by the state or by someone who's wearing a collar like a Catholic priest or whomever, that in the name of Jesus I now pronounce you man and wife, or by the power of the state of Arizona or something like that. I believe that that wasn't correct. But from what the woman I'm currently dating, Ray, she said that give to Caesar what is Caesar's when we talked about it yesterday. So now I'm confused about that. And now realizing after watching these videos by this woman named Candy, that I was actually aware of her from a long time ago, because Doug brought her up in like one or two videos very briefly. So I knew that they were dating, but he said they weren't. Like, I didn't know if they were really dating or not. So these videos were like almost a decade ago, but I'm still currently watching the FOTM videos now because I've always found him to be an incredibly influential man. So the strange thing here is that for this man being so incredibly influential on me, I'm talking about like in the 10 guys or the 10 people that have influenced me going all the way back in 2009 when I first got saved. I'm talking about like R.C. Sproul, John Piper, D.A. Carson, Charles Swindoll, even the people from the Remnant Church like Shane Claiborne, Tony Campolo, Rob Bell, even Mark Driscoll, even people from local churches like Pastor Mike here and Pastor, and also there's a guy that I work with that teaches at a local church here that I just started working with about 2 months ago. Like there's Dr. Larry Vold. There was a lot of people that I learned from. Timothy Keller. I mean, the list pretty much keeps going on. Even Dr. Jordan Peterson recently, within the last year and a half. But I mean, so here's the thing: is that I watched these videos last night. I watched all 3 of them from this woman named Candy, and I watched a couple videos by this guy named Steve Wilson, I think, where like 10 years ago he made these videos talking about how that Doug Perry is a false teacher and he's a false prophet. I never did research on this. I never thought about this before. I saw those videos a long time ago, but I never watched them and just assumed what Doug was saying in his videos were correct, and that I never questioned really anything he said. I did always think it was kind of strange that but I never thought it was bad that he would never read the Bible in his videos, and that he would mostly just go off this voice that he would hear that you were supposed to also hear because you needed to get your cup full of Jesus with the blue, the red, and the yellow, like the cup pattern that he has. And I've talked about that several times in my videos. You can even go back to my old YouTube channel. I quit uploading on like 3 years ago, the Cult channel, to see that I was making long prayer videos for Doug, for the restoration of him and his church. And a lot of my videos were influenced by Pastor Doug Perry. So I never questioned really anything he said. I just assumed that he was so close to God and he was so close to Jesus that he could literally hear him at any time he wanted and whatnot. I mean, I always did think it was kind of strange that he did tell a story one time about how he almost crashed his own car by accident because he was falling asleep at the wheel while driving people around to do this prayer intercession kind of thing where he would go to the 5 points of the city he was in, like Liberty, and that he almost crashed the car because he almost fell asleep while driving because the Lord wouldn't let him sleep, and that even something about you could die even by the Lord sending a butterfly to, like, the butterfly could touch the car you're trying to get you don't want to hit the butterfly when driving, but then you crash into a tree or something and you die from that, then the Lord takes you. He said some really strange story like that one time a couple years ago, and I thought, well, because he said you have to take every thought captive. But anyways, instead of getting into that, I'm just going to get into what I saw in the videos and the blog that I read from this woman named Candy on this place called blogspot.com about her being his second spiritual wife, quote unquote. And I even saw that he talked about this guy named Rusty that lived with them. And this was like an older video I watched yesterday, that Rusty was also his wife, and the fact of doing his laundry and having a shoulder to cry and these things like it completely, to me, it completely made sense, even though it's not necessarily biblical. But he was just very much saying, like, well, he said in a lot of videos, well, Calvinists are like that, and Baptists and Presbyterians and things like that. They're not like, he wasn't saying they weren't of God, but their way of using Bible verses in order to justify things of how they should live was not necessarily good, and that the way he was doing it, didn't say it out loud, but he was insinuating that his way is the correct way. So she had this video where she was basically talking about that when she lived there from 2009 to 2010, so even before I even found his channel through the demonology videos, that he was performing what sounded like to me, being that I'm an ex-Satanist and I used to study all these things, still don't study them that much anymore, but I've studied these videos in the past or studied things in the past, like books and whatnot, and did like psychic training and astral projection, meditation, things like that. But way back in the day when I was in high school, coming out of high school, and then because I got saved when I was 20, but for about 7 years before that, I was a Satanist and training myself up and things like that. But from the things that she was saying, the things that she was saying in the videos of things that he wanted to do, like the spiritual seed and performing basically under God's sexual acts on each other, even though they weren't. He said they were married, but they weren't, and which sounded to me like witchcraft rituals. I mean, I've never really questioned this thing of the Jesus Cup model, that she said that when he imparted his blue stuff of Jesus onto her to push it onto her, which is prayers that I've done myself, like hundreds of times in the past. I've done this many, many times. I even prayed one time. I remember this. I prayed one time when I was laying on my bed, because there was some video I watched back when me and my brother were living together back in the middle of town. This was like 3 years ago or so. And I mean, there was a video he put out where a bunch of people were crying and upset and screaming and things like that in his living room. and it had to do with that he was hearing from God for them to get on their knees and repent and pray and repent for the nation and things like that. And then he looked at the guy who was holding the camera and said, "Don't film this." And that made me feel really weird. I wasn't necessarily questioning whether if what he was doing was even biblical or not, or godly. I just assumed it was. But it made me feel weird about that, and I accepted his cut model. I did it myself many years ago. So I don't know if maybe there's a possibility I'm now under a delusion, or I've been under a delusion. But what happened was that I went on the bed and I prayed, God, should I continue watching Pastor Doug Perry's videos? Should I continue watching FOTM1? And I heard a distinct voice tell me, "You better listen to that man." That's exactly what I heard in my head. But it was a very clear voice, and I knew it wasn't my intuition. But now I'm seeing these things of these other things where she heard the same thing, where she ended up dry heaving in her trash can or something back before she came down in 2009. And he was saying, "Well, yeah, that's God and whatnot," and all these really weird and crazy stories that she was writing in her blog, and I was watching in the videos, that I remember him talking about in previous videos, just either like slightly, like not that much, or it was the same kind of story, but he tweaked it. And I always just assumed that these people were under the Red Dragon delusion because the Red Dragon is a demon that I've learned about. I mean, I got his book right here. I bought all of his books, and I sent them out to different places. Like, I even sent his books to Africa and sent his books to different prisons and things like that, because I thought Doug Perry was just such an influential, godly man. I just assumed that there was nothing to question, like, this whole time, up until I watched those recommended videos in my tab, and that I then read about the thing about Dr. Phil and how, because he has this video called Dr. Phil Raped Me. I never really watched it before, but how he freaked out when he was saying that there was basically sexual abuse going on at his compound with the homeless people living there, and that basically that the woman in the video who was his second spiritual wife was essentially, from what I'm understanding here, but I could be wrong about all this, I don't know, but it sounds like she was sexually assaulted, and like the two other women that were living there, but it just wasn't like full-on rape or something. I don't, like, this whole thing is just completely, like, I was so shocked when I watched these videos last night. I did not know how to comprehend that, like, what is going on here. Because I've watched this guy's videos so many times. There were days back when I was unemployed that I would just keep his videos on all night so he would get more, what is it? I don't know, like ad revenue or something. Okay, so that is the first part of that episode. And what I'm going to do is next Saturday, I'm going to be uploading part 2 of 3, or episode 2 of the Chuck Stu Show. Yeah. I'm not going to be insulting with this one. Normally I am.